Hey there, and welcome to episode 68 of Your Fun and Profitable Online Business. This is the podcast that helps women entrepreneurs create businesses that feel as good as they look. I'm Wendy, and I help women entrepreneurs reduce friction and move their ideas forward instead of keeping them trapped in their heads forever. And today we're talking about idea overload. You know, that place where we have so many great ideas that none of them actually move forward? I want to talk about that today. Let's dive in. Now tell me, does this sound familiar? You have a course idea, a podcast idea, a membership idea, 3 domains saved, and maybe even purchased, 27 tabs open on your browser right now, and voice notes from bed at 11:42 last night where you suddenly became convinced this new idea is the idea that's going to end all be all. And somehow, even though you have so many amazing ideas, your business isn't growing. And the frustrating part is that you're not unmotivated. In fact, you're super creative. However, without a system for handling your amazing ideas, creativity can start to feel really heavy instead of exciting. Now, I want to talk about why this happens and how to start creating a little more calm and momentum in your business, because your genius ideas are not the enemy here. I think one of the reasons why this topic matters so much is because entrepreneurs are naturally pattern spotters. We notice things. We see opportunities. We connect dots, and we imagine possibilities. That's part of what makes entrepreneurs, really. I want you to hear this. Having lots of ideas here is not a character flaw. It's what makes you an entrepreneur. It's a sign that your brain is working exactly the way it's designed to work. The problem starts, however, when every idea feels urgent or emotionally charged or equally important. Because your brain starts carrying all of these ideas all at the same time. And these unresolved ideas create a lot of mental clutter. It's like every unfinished project becomes an open tab in your brain. And that's why entrepreneur overwhelm can feel so exhausting. You aren't physically building 20 projects, but mentally, you're carrying the weight of 20 projects. That's the exhausting part. And what's really ironic here is these ideas can become an emotional safety blanket in the process. These ideas are full of possibility. They're exciting, hopeful even, and they give us dopamine, especially at the beginning. You know, in that place where the idea hasn't failed yet. You haven't been judged for it yet. It hasn't required any difficult decisions at this point. Here, it's still full of possibility. So we stay in idea mode because implementation feels vulnerable. If we keep brainstorming, we don't have to fully commit. If we keep researching, we don't have to risk failing. If we keep consuming, we can still feel productive without actually moving anything forward. And listen, I'm saying we here because I've done this too. I think most entrepreneurs have. We convince ourselves that we just need one more course, one more strategy, one more framework, one more notebook, one more planning session. But what we really need is a system to get clear on what matters most right now. Because when every idea feels equally important, nothing moves forward. And let me be clear here on what the issues really are. The issues are not having a place to put your ideas, a place and a way to evaluate them, a decision for when to act on them, and how to stop carrying them with you everywhere you go. What I'm describing is cognitive overload, and this creates a tremendous amount of decision fatigue. Your brain keeps every idea open because it's afraid you're going to lose it. So instead of focusing on the thing you've committed to focus on today, you become the human equivalent of having 47 browser tabs open. Some ideas are meant for later. Some ideas are seasonal. Some ideas still need more fuel before they can go anywhere. And some ideas are simply distractions from the thing that matters most to you right now because you're scared. You know, I often talk about this with my clients. I see this idea overload like an airport. If every plane tries to take off at the same time and air traffic control goes out to lunch and isn't there to direct the process, it's total chaos. And this is one of the major reasons entrepreneurs feel stuck. It's not because they don't have a way and ideas to move their business forward. It's because they have too many active ideas competing for their same attention and their same energy. And it makes their decision-making capacity way too thin. In this space, nothing is cleared for takeoff. So let's talk about how to start reducing some of this entrepreneur overwhelm without shutting down your creativity. Because I want you to keep having ideas. This is not the place to stop having ideas. I just want your ideas to stop taking up all of your mental space. The first thing, capture your ideas somewhere you trust. I mean, really trust. This is not random sticky notes. This is not 7 different notebooks sprawled throughout your office and your home. And it's not half in your notes app and half on your email drafts. Listen, your brain relaxes when it trusts that something has been safely stored somewhere. That's really important. Otherwise, your brain keeps rehearsing the idea over and over again, trying not to lose it. So you need one place where your ideas live. That's it. Super simple. Now, the other thing is stop deciding what to move forward emotionally in the moment. Because ideas feel most exciting at the beginning. We've already talked about that. It's that initial dopamine hit. It makes everything feel urgent and brilliant. But urgency and importance are not the same thing. So instead of immediately pivoting your entire business every time inspiration strikes, I want you to pause. Capture the idea, let it breathe for a while, and come back to it later. Now, next week, I'm going to walk you through the exact system I've created to help organize, prioritize, and move ideas forward without losing the ones you care about. Because I really believe creativity works better when there's structure supporting it. But now, I want you to imagine waking up and your brain doesn't immediately feel noisy. You're trusting that your ideas are safe somewhere. You're knowing what idea you're focused on this month without constantly second-guessing yourself. And imagine finishing that project and launching it in the world, giving the idea a chance to work. Because here's what I've noticed. When entrepreneurs stop carrying everything in their head, their creativity actually becomes calmer. They're more strategic. They stop reacting to every burst of inspiration and start intentionally building. And suddenly, they start creating momentum. The mental clutter's gone, and their business feels lighter again. They haven't stopped being creative. They finally gave their creativity a system for everything to land inside of. So here's your action step for this week. I want you to commit to putting every idea you have in one trusted place. That's it. It could be a Google Doc. It could be a notebook. It could be an Airtable document, and I'll talk more about that next week. I want you to commit to whatever works for your brain. Make it happen. One place. That's it. We're not working on the ideas at this phase. We're just capturing them in one place. And the goal here isn't to build out anything. We're not outlining. We're not doing timelines. We're just reducing the mental tabs our brain is trying to hold at one time. One place, one parking lot for your ideas. That's it. So today we talked about why entrepreneurs experience idea overwhelm and why your ideas are not actually the problem. The real issue is trying to carry every idea in your head all at once. And the solution is a trusted system for capturing them. Because creativity is powerful, but creativity without structure, it can really become overwhelming quickly. And I want you to know this. You do not need to execute every idea immediately to be successful. Sometimes your next best step is simply creating enough space to focus on one thing at a time. Now, next week, I'm going to talk you through the system I built in Airtable to help entrepreneurs decide what gets their attention now, later, and maybe never, without losing the ideas they care about. We're going to talk about prioritization. We're going to talk about how to stop feeling pulled in 12 directions at once. So if this episode hit home for you, next week's going to be really a practical follow-up. And if you know another entrepreneur who constantly has too many business ideas, send this episode to them. Chances are they need to hear they're not broken. They just need a better runway system. All right, That's everything for today. Until next time, happy building your fun and profitable online business.